What is up, you guys? This is your boy Andy Matrix. I talk about anime, manga, video games, geek culture, and Japanese culture. And for today's dose of video game news, well, like always, I'm the guy who brings you the bad news about Japan, right? I just have to be that guy. And today, we're gonna be talking about Square Enix recruitment page. We're gonna be talking about Square Enix ethics department censorship. That's right. And it looks like Square Enix ethics department, they are the ones that are censoring themselves. They're actually doing it themselves. And, you know, I like to think that it was, you know, here in the West, in America, that, you know, they had to go through that filter. And then the American quality assurance said, "Yep, no, you gotta cover Tifa's tits. Tifa's tits are too big. You gotta cover her up, honey. Sorry." Anyways, before we get started, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to hit the notification bell. Like this video. I'm on a journey to get 1,000 subscribers, and I'm almost there. Thanks a lot, guys. You guys are awesome. I love making these videos. I love being a YouTuber. Now, let's get to it. I am at Sankaku Complex, guys, and it says Square Enix's recruitment page boasts about ethics department censorship. Okay, so do you guys remember? You guys remember when Tifa, when Final Fantasy, before Final Fantasy 7 Remake came out, you know, there was gameplay and screenshots of Tifa, right? And you know, there was a before and after pictures of like before she was censored and after she was censored, because you know they gave her a sports bra and like high socks, which honestly I in my opinion I think that shit, at least the high socks kind of like sexualizes her even more. You know, it just makes her look even more sexy, right? And then everybody was like, "Hey, what the heck happened? How come they changed her design or whatever?" It didn't really bother me that much, but the fact that it was Japan themselves who decided to do it, not PlayStation America, but PlayStation Japan, right? And fun fact, Sony PlayStation is no longer a Japanese company. It is now an American company in California. Oops, I'm sorry. I mean California. I'm sorry, guys. All right, but anyway, so there was a posting. There was a job posting in Square Enix website. And we learned a little bit about, you know, the ethics department of Square Enix. And that's why I decided to make this video. We learned a lot, actually. So here, right, I actually translated it with Google Translation from Japanese to English, right? So this here is basically somebody talking about their position, how much they like working at Square Enix, right? Now, Sankaku Complex, you know, they came out with their own translation, right? So when they say ethics team, by the way, in a little Japanese lesson, by the way, the translation notes here, you gotta pay attention because some things get lost in language, okay? So the translation here, when they say ethics team, Japan, they don't, in that department, they don't necessarily use the word ethics. That's an American thing, right? So if we look at the translations down here, I'm gonna try to zoom in. It's a translation notes. Ever since Final Fantasy 7 Remake, everyone has been calling ethics, so I just went with that. But one should also keep in mind that Japan's film content rating organization, film classification and rating organization in Japan name, but does not contain the word ethics in the name, right? So it's just an American thing. I guess they call it ethics just to sound American, right? Or Western. In note number 2, it says, I was under the impression that ethics team only makes suggestions to directors, developers on what to change to the PC, right? But the expression implies that they may possibly make the changes themselves directly, right? And that's this part right here, right? And it says, because of the ethics team's job is to make changes to whatever the developers make. Holy shit! What? One more time. Let me read it one more time. Because the ethics team's job is to make changes to whatever the developers make. In other words, the ethics team, the quality assurance team themselves, they make those changes. says I have to, and then it says the employee that wrote this letter says I have to take responsibility and make sure that any changes I make suggested are justified. It's a lot more than a simple yes or no sort of thing. Being able to propose an alternate expression is also a huge part of it. They did this shit themselves. That's freaking crazy. And here I am. I actually made videos of like saying, oh well, you know, it's probably Western Sony. Sony America is the one that, you know, that censored that shit, right? No, it was Sony Japan. It was PlayStation Japan that censored sexy ass Tifa, right? Now down here it says, as indicated, it was believed by some that this ethics department merely suggested changes, right? That's what I thought. But might happen to be the ones directly censoring Square Enix titles themselves. What the f? They have a lot of power then. This is the... I mean, this is... Wow. And now then it says the Honeybee Inn in the remake has changed to make the modern sensibilities into account as a result of the corrupt narrative that has swarmed over the entertainment industry in the West. Now, here's something about the whole Honeybee Inn when Cloud cross dresses, right? That was actually in the original game. So Cloud actually dresses up in the original game. Yeah, I know. It's blocky graphics, but he actually changes into a woman so that he can get into Corneo's mansion, right? That is actually part of the game, and that didn't bother me. And as far as Andrea Rodea, I knew that that was a new character, and they had to add this character because they had to fill in holes in the story or the empty spaces in the story. However, it does surprise me. It does amaze me. It does shock me that it was actually Japan's quote-unquote ethics department that made all those changes without the supervision of American leadership. Holy freaking smokes. Now, final sentence here. Similarly, the ethics department was also responsible for tightening Tifa's chest and will probably bring about other ludicrous changes in the future for the sake of political correctness. So I think I'm wondering, is it that they understand the West so well that they decided they know how sensitive people in the West are, that they just went ahead and made these changes? They're like, oh, these freaking Westerners, you know, they're gonna, you know, they freak out over big titties. Let's cover Tifa up, right? They probably thought about that, and they probably said, okay, well, you know, in the West, the LGBT thing is very popular, so let's put a little bit of that in there, which was already in the game, by the way, in the original game, so it didn't bother me. Holy freaking smokes! This is crazy. All right, and you also gotta remember that Japan does take some woke ideas from the West, because, I mean, we already have feminists complaining about a movie in Japan, and then the movie studio going ahead and changing the the Conan movie, the upcoming Conan movie. They're changing it up because some feminist was complaining about it. You know, it's just kind of like over here in America. You know, 5 people on Twitter complain about something in the movie, and then, you know, the movie studios freaking changes the whole movie, right? And I'm exaggerating, but you guys know what I'm saying, right? There's already that happening. If it has to do with the male gaze, if it's for the male gaze, if it's big titties and, you know, nice bodies, yeah, we gotta cover up the girls, right? That's the idea. But if it's a muscular man that girls like to look at, oh no, wait, yeah, that's okay. We can do that. You know, we can leave it out there for the girls, right? Censor it for the man and then leave it open for the girls. Anyways, guys, what do you guys think about this? I mean, seriously, what the hell do you guys think about this? Because this is crazy. This is pretty crazy to me. Make sure to comment below. Tell me what you think. Like this video. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell for future notifications. I'm going to be covering this. I'm covering Square Enix, the gaming industry. Cover lots of these topics. So subscribe to the channel for future notifications. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. This is Andy Matrix. Godspeed.